This is the week 5 challenge D major scale and arpeggio demonstration video. I'm just going to play through the 1 octave scale and arpeggio and the 2 octave scale and arpeggio. The reason being is that the 3 octave scale and arpeggio is a long conversation. And in this one, I can knock out these 2 options that everybody in my studio will be working on. Currently, nobody is working on a 3 octave D major scale. We're still working up to there. All right, I know you'll be there soon. So start with your 1 octave. Sounds like this. And the arpeggio. You can practice each of those as many times as you need. You can make little exercises out of them. You can double each note. That's a nice way to practice it as you're getting familiar. If this is where you are at, 1 octave D major scale is new to you, doing doubles or even 4, that's a great way to start playing the scale because it allows you to have more time on each finger and get really comfortable holding that string down. Okay, the 2 octave scale requires a shift, but only 1 shift, so I'm going to wait until the E string to make that shift. Here we go. Arpeggio. Now, if you are brave, you can play it all in that shifted position, which is 3rd position, by the way. You're going to start with your 2nd finger playing that D on the G string. Okay. You don't have to shift, but that is quite advanced because you really need to be aware of where you need to stretch your fingers or pull some fingers back just because of your position on the instrument and kind of that angle that you're pulling your fingers when you're going to a higher string or down to a lower string. And at the very bottom, I am introducing you to a concept that I call rhythms or rhythm confusion. This is not new or unique to me in any way, but this is a great way to practice your scales. Practice it as written, but also practice it in reverse order. So let me show you what I mean. You can practice your D major scale with a long, short, long, short, long pattern. And then you can also reverse it. And if you wanted to go faster, that's called hooked bowing. Again, many of us are not here, but we're getting there. So now this next one, it's still a rhythm, but the pattern is now 3 notes instead of 2. And whenever you add a note to the pattern, it's always a short note. So you have 1 long and then 1 short. Then you have 1 long and 2 shorts. 1 long, 3 shorts. 1 long, 4 shorts. Some argue you can just go into patterns after that, sets of 3s and 4s. So you're looking at 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 12, 16. It really doesn't it's not really useful after that. So anyway, long, short, short, long. And actually, because the pattern doesn't finish evenly, what you would do is go back up the scale until the pattern lines up with the first note of the scale again. Let me just demonstrate. When the long note finally lands back on the D, that's when you're done. I love this so much. If you can wrap your mind around this, you can use this in so many ways, and just always keep going up and back down and up and back down. And it's a great way to practice isolated parts in difficult music, little scales and little arpeggiated sections. So if this is all going over your head, don't worry about it. That just means you're not there yet. It just means you haven't done it. So I'm not trying to stress anybody out by adding a lot of information. I'm just trying to edify you. I'm hoping to better support you as your violin teacher. So that was our week 5 challenge, D major, 1 and 2 octaves, plus the rhythms demonstration at the bottom. When we get to it, I will add a whole series just about 3 octave scales, and I'll probably address all of the scales that way. Alrighty, I will see you in the next one.